how to know he likes you. Because let me tell you something. If you're talking about attraction for guys, every Tom, Dick, Harry, and Bingo, the choice of names were very intentional, will be attracted to you. That's a fact, so it has to be deeper than attraction. Listen, for ladies, all right, attraction, especially sexual attraction, has more often than not has a lot to do with their love. That's how they show love. But a guy can get there, do that, and there's nothing. It was just about the sex. So you have to understand this. First and foremost, this is a Christian channel, and I want to believe that every Christian under the sound of my voice understands that the bed is meant to be left undefiled before marriage. Listen, it doesn't really matter how popular these things are. The standard of the Lord stands sure, and everyone who names the name of Christ should depart from iniquity. I just want to make that unequivocally clear. And I can give you 1,001 reasons why even what is biblically required makes practical, logical sense. If at the dating phase, you're already touching and doing all those things, you stand more chances practically, of that relationship breaking up. God is so wise, and many times his principles are not to restrict us. His principles are to make us better. So bear that in mind. But hey, let's cut to the chase now. How to know that he likes you? Number one, his compliments aren't always physical. I know you like it when maybe a guy says, the shape of your nose, it seems like it was carved in the best ivory, making company, and all of that. You like, your neck reminds me of the Eiffel Tower. You like all those kind of scope. But I want to say this. Whilst that might be okay, here and there, if that's all that he notices about you, it just might well be a red flag. It will be a great sign that you are in the right hands, let me put it that way, when he says, I like the way you think. I like how committed you are to your career. I like the way you make decisions. So when he notices something else about you, that says a lot. When it is centered around sex, you will be very deluded. Because let me say this. A guy will pretend, go to church, do anything to get your back on his bed, and he will imitate all the symptoms of a genuine love situation, but just to get your back on his bed. So, about the surest way to test the sincerity of the motives is to take sex out of the picture. Take it out the way and see what's left. Ladies like to deceive themselves. They think that by giving sex, then they are going to hold the guy down, make him more committed. But lust, when gratified, will only grow, will only become more obvious. The situation will only become more hopeless. Do you understand? If a guy doesn't love you, he doesn't love you. Simple, straightforward. All right? So make no mistake about that. Number two, a guy who is truly interested in you, who truly likes you, would take initiative, to be around you, to spend time with you, I know some guys can be married to their work, but if even 1 out of 10 times he's not the one who came up with an initiative, hey, let's see a movie, what are you doing? Hey, I want to take you out, if he never takes that initiative, that's a warning sign, and usually if he's just after your body, the interest in taking that initiative will die immediately he discovers you're another type of girl. When he begins to take initiative to want to spend time with you, that's something good. He's just interested in what you're doing. Number three, when a guy wants to make very important choices and he would ask you what you think, that's a very, very powerful cue. When he says, hey, I want to know what you think about this, that's a very powerful cue. Unfortunately, many ladies, abuse this. They see it as an opportunity to control. And so when he doesn't do exactly what you want him to do, the way you want him to do it. You start saying, he doesn't listen to me, he doesn't listen to me. Listen, especially when you're not married. We're talking about dating couples. It's a privilege. And you see, even if he doesn't listen to you, that trust is built. With time, at the end of the day, no matter what, if you care about the person, you always want to hear what they have to say. And that's a very, very heavy cue there. Next, if he talks about his future with you, his plans, his aspirations, you see, rule of thumb is, if he's not serious with you, he will keep the relationship as superficial as possible. He will hide information. Some of you know what I'm saying. He won't say anything. He will be giving you one-liners. He might not even tell you what he does. That's serious, because he doesn't want you to know. But by the time he begins to share future plans, tell you, this is where I am at, this is what I'm planning to do, these are my dreams. And then especially when he begins to ask for your own dreams, challenge you to do better, what he's trying to do is to build a future in his head and in his heart that accommodates both of you. And that's very powerful and very romantic, if I may add. All right, so that's something to look out for. Number 5, which is the most important. You know that he likes you when he puts a ring on it. Some guys start off with a lot of enthusiasm and energy. And along the way, sometimes they are using you to just occupy space. So they are using you to fill in that emotional void whilst they are waiting. And that's why all of a sudden the energy will just change, and they are wondering. But I'm saying this for your own emotional stability. All right? Don't put too much power in the hands of other people, especially as a lady. Learn to match the energy. Please listen to me. Learn to match the energy. And this is a very important balance, because you don't want to be doing below what he's doing, and you don't want to be doing significantly above what he's doing. Listen, I'm not saying, as a child of God, you should love everyone, but when it comes to just extra, some of you make it more precarious. Let him take the lead. Let him take initiative. There's a way to just set the ball rolling and allow him control the steering wheels. So that, because at the end of the day, no matter how perfect you are, even the most well-meaning, well-intentioned people, stuff just happens and it doesn't just work out the way you planned. All right, so please bear that in mind and know that ultimately, without a shadow of doubt when he puts a ring on it. Yeah, I hope you learned a thing or two. Please like this video, help the algorithm, let more people see it, let more people be blessed, and then we see you next time. God bless you. Thank you very much.